Former Detroit Police Commissioner admitted to paying $10 for sexual favors, officers said. The Motor City. Detroit and prostitution goes hand in hand like Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. What type of sex did he pay $10 for that wouldn't require a shot and a prescription afterward? Former Detroit Police Commissioner, and it's not like he was already retired. This is what retired him. Bryan Ferguson admitted to officers that he had paid a prostitute $10 in exchange for sexual favors in Detroit on July 12th, according to a citation obtained by the Detroit Free Press. What type of hard-working blue-collar prostitute did he get caught with? You can't even get chicken wings for $10. They're lucky she didn't turn into a bat and fly off when they shine the light on her. Yes, I gave her $10 for it. That's a roll of quarters, buddy. The citation says Ferguson told undercover narcotics officers from the Wayne County Sheriff's Office that caught him parked in his car in Detroit that morning, engaging in a sex act with a prostitute. Look at him. You know he did it. Look at that smile. The only John on the whole strip that pays with a roll of quarters. I'm sorry. I know I was wrong, dead wrong. That's not what Ferguson said to the public. He previously denied the allegations, characterized them as a big misunderstanding, and said the woman was unknown to him and that she had attempted to enter his vehicle. You already know he was lying his ass off. For $10, he had to haggle for that. Nobody's jumping in. That was agreed upon. Can you help me out? What, you starting to itch already? Can I throw something out there, please? Ferguson continued, according to the citation. I'm a Detroit Police Commissioner. There you go. Maybe they would look the other way if he was speeding or if he was illegally parked somewhere, but you got caught with a $10 hooker, dude. Get out the car, boss. Put your hands on the hood, boss. How many officers caught him in that exact position and decided to look the other way? Think about that. Ferguson was issued a misdemeanor citation for indecent or obscene conduct involving a sex act with the prostitute. He resigned from his position as a Detroit Police Commissioner for District 1. We're talking about 25, 30 years. This is a career, lifelong position. Prior to his resignation, Ferguson sent out a news release denying the allegations and informed the public he was stepping away from the Police Oversight Board's weekly meeting. The news release was signed in the spirit of transparency and accountability. Ferguson could not immediately be reached for comment on Wednesday. What was he really going to say? That he was only paying for information? That he was taking a personal interest in getting to the heart of prostitution in Detroit? An officer wrote in the citation that he and other undercover officers had been conducting surveillance in Detroit when they saw a woman known to them as a sex worker standing on the corner of Cheyenne and Schoolcraft, making eye contact and waving at men as they drove by, according to the citation. Then officers observed Ferguson's vehicle drive past the sex worker and circle around the block several times before stopping in the middle of the street next to the woman, according to the citation. She entered the vehicle and Ferguson drove to a side street and parked in front of a vacant house on Sorrento, the officer wrote. Let me tell you how nasty he is. He's just cruising the streets of Detroit, shopping off the rack. No in calls or nothing. You need to pay your public servants more. That way they can afford some discretion. When officers approached Ferguson, his pants were unzipped and unbuckled. For $10, she must be really dedicated to her craft. This is going to really mess things up for me. That's your career, Ferguson told officers, according to the citation.